What up? What is going on, guys? Give me a second here while I get my cigar lit. We are hitting you up from our new studios. We're still working on a few things as we're getting ourselves situated. But welcome. Today is Monday, August 30th, 2021. And there is quite a bit going on right now in the world that we want to start talking about. And we've asked some guests to come on tonight. So we're pretty excited about that. We've got a few other things that we're going to be going through. And of course, we'll be talking about what I'm drinking, smoking, and what I'm always carrying. So this is always something we want to do to have fun. But with everything that's happening in the world and with some terrible, just some disgusting, I'm going to use the word disgusting because that's the reality. With some disgusting things that have recently happened, we're not going to just completely bypass that. And if that's what this show's about, then that's what it's about. So we're going to definitely make sure that we dedicate that time for them. So we have our guest in the waiting room. We'll see as soon as he's ready, we'll go ahead and bring him in. You guys let me know how, like always, I'm always asking, how are things sounding? Let me know if there's any issues, any video or audio quality, and we'll make sure to make the adjustments. Don, Erica, let's bring you guys in. So as always, in the studio. Now let's give a check real quick. I've seen our boy Maury. I saw him on, and then he dropped off. Let's make sure that he can. Hear and see us. And as soon as he's in, let us know. Oh, I got a little video lag.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love that. There he is.
I see Maury.
Yeah, there's Maury. Let's go ahead and bring him in and get the introduction going. Maury.
How you doing, brother?
Oh.
Let's get his audio here.
There you go. Try that again. Should be
live, buddy. It's live. That's what we love about this.
All right, I think we're good.
Okay. Dad's gone.
Yep. I'm coming back. Don't worry. It's just the video.
All right. Oh, our camera timed out.
Did it? Live.
Right on time.
Yeah, right on time. You know, everything's going fine. Looks like
now we have the next 30 minutes until it does it again.
Yeah.
Oh, and Dad's back in the stream.
There we go. We just had a little bit. Oh. Maury, how are you, buddy?
I'm well. How about yourself?
Good. We're in a new studio, new place, so we're working through some new issues.
I've seen you've been putting in a lot of work. I've been tracking your movement. It's excellent. Proud of you, man.
Well, it means a lot. That means a lot coming from you. Thanks. I appreciate it. So welcome, my friend. Welcome to the ATF show.
Thank you.
We've got a lot of shit to cover. So you and I, we've spoken before. We've done some interviews, but if you don't know, so the ATF show is you know me, I'm a big whiskey guy, so I'm going to pull my whiskey out. This was a new one. It's called Happening. It's a new Irish whiskey that hit the market. It is casted 4 times. So I'm actually excited about this. So we're popping that up. And I know you and I are both lovers of the SIG, and as always, ready, locked, and loaded to go. So I got my P30. P320 with the new Romeo Zero scope on the top. What are you sipping on? Water, Sprite, tequila?
Some vodka.
All right. Well, let me join you there. Yes, Erica, please. Always. All right. So there has been some things happening in the news. I know you and I have talked a little bit about it. And so we're going to get into this. We're going to get in this a little bit. And I thought it was really interesting. Before we get into that, I wanted to give the audience a moment. You and I have gotten a chance to talk quite a bit. But why don't you tell them just a little bit about your background so they know where you're coming from? I'd love for the audience to know that.
Yeah, sure. My name is Maury Abreu. I am the owner and founder of Omega Protective Concepts. And Omega Protective Concepts is a training company that equips you for success against violence. We train you to protect yourself in every environment and from every form of attack. So whatever that may look like, whether it's firearms based, edge weapons or knife based, multiple attackers, fighting in and around your vehicles, home defense, safe travel, it's an all encompassing approach to protecting yourself and your loved ones from intended harm against you. We are a travel to train company, so we go to whoever our clients are. We travel literally around the globe, and we make it happen that way.
Now, you, my friend, proudly served in our U.S. Armed Forces, correct?
United States Marine Corps, yes.
That's right. And you left as a sergeant there, correct?
Yes.
So it would be safe to say that what's been going on, and with the death of 11 Marines, 1 Army, and 1 Naval service member, this has not been a great week.
No. It's probably been one of the worst weeks in a very long time, for sure. And it has registered with so many of my contemporaries in a profound way, unlike, many other times in the past.
Yeah.
So let me kind of clarify that a little bit. It always registers with you, when your brethren fall, right? When you're toasting to your fallen brethren. But this one stung on a different level, and it registered in a more profound level because, people make really silly statements. Good people, well-intended people, decent people, such things as, I don't want to get political, or I don't want to offend.
Yeah.
Which is code for I'm just don't fucking talk then, right? Because if you say something, if you have an opinion, whether you are a politician or a pastor, you're going to offend people. That's guaranteed, right?
Especially today.
Yeah. So and this has been cataloged, so articulately by so many by this point and at this point, where the level of this could have all been avoided. The way that this was handled, and the literally backwards approach of how we went about leaving Afghanistan and protecting our assets, not just our brothers in arms, but these Afghanis that for 2 decades committed themselves to us.
Yep.
To fight along our side, to provide resources and assets to put them and their families at risk, and for us to end up where we are here today, and to have a military operation that was so poorly handled, that requires a low level of experience to have a basic understanding of how, a lot of things get Monday morning quarterbacked. But this one is it's catastrophic. And then you add to that the fact that there are folks in power, both in the military and in this administration, none of which have taken any responsibility. There's been zero accountability.
Agreed.
I mean, zero.
Agreed.
except for the one individual that actually asked for accountability, the
Uh,
lieutenant colonel.
Yep.
He's the only person that's being held accountable here, and we continue to just watch this debacle and
Unfold right in front of us.
yeah, and it's you know, I really push on those in my inner circle to have emotional discernment. Discernment, I think, is key to living life, especially today. You cannot get lost in your emotions.
That's right.
You cannot get lost in the rhetoric and in the noise.
That's right.
And it is exceptionally difficult to perform at your highest level when you're emotional and when you are outsourcing your thinking and your logic to feelings. But damn, this is
That's such a great way to, when you're outsourcing your thinking and logic to feelings.
yeah.
I think what's made this condition worse, what has made me upset as I've been watching this, it was already something that I was not happy with, but then a continued amount of reports, one after another. And here's the crazy thing. I want to share a few things with the audience too, for those who don't know already and haven't seen them. But these are reports and information that's coming from both sides of the aisle. And I mean, Washington Post, New York Times, LA Times, all these contemporary liberal newspapers that in the past have been obviously one-sided. I mean, it's coming from everywhere. I'm going to share this with you, something from the Washington Post here. Let's see if I can share the screen without this whole system taking a crap. We always have fun figuring this out. So here's the interesting piece, and I'm gonna go ahead and give this a read. We had the opportunity to get our guys out, and the administration said, no, you can handle it, Taliban. So again, right here, Washington Post, the name and title of this particular article, you can see right here, surprise, panic, and faithful choices, the day America lost its longest war. This upsets me right off the bat because it wasn't a war for 20 years, but okay, that's a whole nother story. But there was one particular part that I found interesting as I was reading this article, and here's the part that stuck out. So this is in regards to their president skipping out for obvious reasons, being afraid that he was going to become killed, and rightfully so. He says not only did he abandon his country, but the unraveled insecurity situation in Kabul, said senior U.S. officer, people just simply melted away from the airport to everywhere else. In the void, law and order began to break down, with reports of armed gangs moving through the streets. And a hasty arranged in-person meeting, senior U.S. military leaders in Doha, including McKinsey, the commander of U.S. Central Command, spoke with Abdul, head of the Taliban's political wing. We have a problem, he says. According to the U.S. official, we have two options to deal with it. You, the United States military, take responsibility for securing Kabul, or you will have to allow us to do it. Throughout the day, Biden had remained resolute in his decision to withdraw the American troops from Afghanistan. The collapse of the Afghan government hadn't changed his mind. McKinsey, aware of those orders, told Baradar that the U.S. mission was only to evacuate American citizens, Afghan allies, and other at-risk U.S. states. He's told Baradar needed the airport to do that on the spot, and understanding was reached. According to the two other U.S. officials, the United States could have the airport until the 31st, but the Taliban would control the city. It goes on and it makes it very clear there was two choices here. Either the U.S. would take control of that evacuation, but they would have the city, or they would allow the Taliban to do it. And our government opted for allowing the Taliban to orchestrate the escort and the evacuation. And so we've all seen how well that's gone. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So sworn enemies to this country. And we're not talking about Afghans. 169 plus were killed in the same bombing. Innocent Afghanis. 169. It's irritating as hell. Not to mention the arsenal. And 30 minutes before I get on this show with you, we're seeing now what they're doing with the Blackhawks. It's disgusting, my friend.
Yeah. You almost can't make it up.
No, you don't. You want it to stop. You want what you keep seeing to stop. And so, I have done a good job. It's pretty damn clear. If you don't know me well enough, you know where I stand. I've never made anything political. This is not politics. This is being an American, plain and simple. It is a political party that has caused this, plain and simple. It is an administration that has caused this. And there needs to be accountability. Here's I'm sure everybody has seen this at this point. The graphics came from the Times and the Sunday Times. Taliban's new arsenal. You can see here over 22,000 Humvees. Have you seen this?
I have, yes.
So with all the crap that we go through in this country over assault weapon bans, and we're leaving actual Class A machine guns, 64,363,000 machine guns. Over 16,000 night vision. We're talking about some of the cutting edge technology that actually gives us an edge over our enemy in war zones. 162,000 radios. These aren't like the kind you pick up at Radio Shack. They've been coded and programmed to United States frequencies. It's sickening. Artillery pieces, pistols, 4 C-130 transport planes, fixed winged. It's account somewhere around $5 billion in arsenal. 33 Blackhawks, 33 Mi-17s. I mean,
you've got to ask yourself why. Why didn't we destroy that gear?
When have we ever left gear like that?
Yeah. Even the most articulate and profound individual with a highly expansive vernacular and level of education has a hard time, wrapping their mind around this debacle. And we know, I think, inherently that though there is a very obvious experience that we're having right now with this extreme loss and kind of this nonchalant attitude about it. The troops are being received, the bodies of the fallen are being received, and our commander-in-chief
is checking when snack time is
checking his watch.
Yeah.
And I understand politics mostly through the perspective of being a person of faith.
Yeah.
And knowing that at least within my faith, there's so many different thoughts, almost none of them based on what the actual book that we say we follow says, but based on someone's interpretation that we've been indoctrinated into thinking. And so I understand politics in the sense that, I'll summarize it this way. This is probably the most efficient way I could communicate this. My wife said something to me 2 months ago that I've repeated probably daily in some form or fashion. And I've had countless conversations with my kids, especially the little ones, on this. And we've talked about it in different facets and how it applies in different areas of our life. And that is, when someone's emotions are anchored to a thought or a belief, good luck getting them to change their mind. And so I say that to say this, to kind of package this message, is that I understand political affiliations. I understand political loyalty to a party. I do. I understand. I understand loyalty. I'm a Marine. I understand it fully what loyalty is. I'm a married man. I'm a father. I understand loyalty. I understand disloyalty. And what happens is, too often, people will get so aligned with the party that that party can no longer sin in their eyes. They can no longer do wrong, and then we blanket cover everything because it's an all or nothing approach, and it's very destructive. It's a very horrible way to live your life. So if you think of, if for everyone that's married, right? If you think of the as men, the woman that we marry, we dated, we did a full background investigation, right? We got to know them really well most of the time before we married them. We made a commitment to, have children and raise children together and live life committed to only one until you're no longer on this earth. And yet still, in a marriage, from time to time, there is conflict. There's friction that needs to be addressed, that
Always.
comes up, because
Always.
if you don't address it, it becomes, a bigger issue. And so we'll address things in, maybe definitely for me, the most important relationship, which is that to your spouse. But when it comes to politics, people just really are grounded in their party too often and are hesitant to call things out for what they are. And that is unhealthy. And if we look at our founding fathers, I have a very strong opinion and belief that there is a reason that we overall don't teach the Constitution to our children, don't teach really in depth the founding fathers, what they stood for, how they thought, how they operated, what they were like, both personally and professionally, if you will, politically, is that there was a lot of dissension. All these people that really love this new experiment called America disagreed a lot. And
that was the way it was supposed to be.
And they were all on the same team for the most part. They were on Team America.
Yeah.
Right?
They were on Team Freedom.
Yeah. And we've lost that. We've lost that. And so now we demand perfection from people when in fact we ourselves are not perfect. Our families aren't perfect. Our parents aren't perfect. Our children aren't perfect, but we expect perfection from others. It's a high level of hypocrisy and a lack of perspective on our part. And, it really has cascading effects, and it has the world in shambles today.
Oh, well, listen, if you're just joining, this is the ATF show. I'm Rigo Murillo, and I'm joined today by my special guest, a brother from another mother, Mr. Maury Abreu. Served in the Marine Corps, has served within different branches of service through many different means, a weapons expert. The man is a certified badass, in my opinion, and in many others' opinions as well. But someone I also respect, have a lot of, I hold in high regard, and as he still today works in different levels of training with law enforcement and government agencies. This is something he's seen in different aspects in real life. And so it means a lot to have you here, Maury. Also just got a notification from another one of my friends and colleague, a brother of yours from the Marine Corps. And he'll be joining us in a little bit. He's a wartime vet as well and has some really great opinions on this. He's been on the show before. His name is Timothy Cromer. So he'll be jumping on a little bit later. But before we get too far into that, if this is the first time you're watching, do me a favor, hashtag live in the comments. Let us know that you're watching. And if you have not subscribed or liked our channel or to the show, there's a wonderful way for you to do that. Text hashtag ATF to 316-799-8052, 799-8052. And what happens is that puts you in our community group, and it allows us to let you know when we go live. So let's see here. We've got something that's going on. Our team was working on. It looks like Tim is here, so that's good. So we'll let him know when it's good. I think he is calling in by phone as he's on the road. So let's see if we can't bring him in. Tim, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
We can. Thanks for joining. I know that you were taking care of some stuff with family, so I really appreciate you jumping on the show with us today.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we on the line here is a good friend of mine. Also was in the Marine Corps. His name is Maury Abreu. I wanted to introduce you to, as you're both brothers of mine, and you guys are brothers in your own way. Something I don't have the opportunity to share with you guys. But
Hell yeah, Semper Fi, brother.
Yeah, Tim, Semper Fi, man.
so we just kind of were talking through some of the stuff that's going on. I went through the Washington Post article that actually just validated how we had an opportunity to have a better control over this process, and we opted to let the Taliban go ahead and take control of this. And we also touched a little bit on this wonderful $5 billion arsenal that we left the Taliban to now do public hangings with Black Hawk helicopters. I just kind of wanted, I wanted our viewers and the people that have the guts to watch this show already. We pushed the boundaries with our ATF aspect, but I'd love for them to hear your perspective, especially someone that was out there fighting for our country and for other people's freedoms.
You asking me or
I'm
Maury?
asking you. Yeah, I'm asking you, Tim.
Okay. Well, I didn't tell you this, but my brother was there. And I mean they're all my brothers, but my blood younger brother is on deployment in the Middle East and was sent to Afghanistan to help with this evacuation, and it had been almost 2 weeks that he had said, "Hey, I'm going to go offline for a bit. I'll let you know when I'm safe. I'll let you know what I can when I can." And my dad called me Thursday morning. I just started my new semester in school. And he said, "Hey, have you seen the news?" And I hadn't yet. And I turned the news on, and dude, I was shell shocked. And having been there myself, I now understand what my parents were going through when I was over there, and the uncertainty of what was going on and how it was going to be handled, and even if we had the fucking fortitude to do anything about it over there, my brother is now, my brother is safe. We ended up getting a text message that afternoon. He had borrowed a phone from a friend and texted my mother and said, "Hey Mom, it's Connor. I just want to let you know I'm safe." And that was it. That was all we heard from him, but we heard from him. And luckily I was at my parents' house. And we all just grasped each other and broke down, because it's crazy what's going on over there right now, and how it's being handled, and or what was going on over there, and I guess still is, because now they fucking have everything. But I don't know how to put it in terms that's understandable if you've never been, there, but more in general, and experience what you experience. But it pisses me off, and it pisses me off that I know what I know now, and have tried to pass that on to him and explain to him what's going on, and he still thinks like everything we're doing is a noble cause, and that's good. Like, you know, you join because you want to defend this country, and then you realize that you're just another pawn in a fucking big game of chess. I don't know. That was a lot. I just let go a lot, but
It's good, man. I mean, that's what this is about, right? That's what this is about. Maury, what's your thoughts, brother?
Yeah, Tim, I hear you, man. It's difficult not to see things from that perspective. You have the heart of a lion, you know, in our service members, looking to do what's good, what is praiseworthy, what is noble, and what is honorable. And
right.
overwhelmingly, the American fighting man and woman, that is how they go into their enlistment. We have an all volunteer military in the United States. No one is being drafted.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that's a perspective that really I think sometimes is lost even on us. Like, damn, the commitment, right? And to see that there are folks in power that just really don't care. I don't know, Tim. I don't know that some of the shit's in vain. I do know that when we have cowards at the top echelon of, forget the politics, though it cannot be overseen because they are setting the tone. This administration is setting the tone. When we have generals and upper echelon military folks that were a certain way when they were captains and we served under them as company commanders, or they were lieutenant colonels or colonels, and they were battalion commanders, and then they switch up, that hurts. That stinks. That's a letdown. When the soul gets sold in any capacity, it's heartbreaking, and it makes you question sometimes everything you've done. But I tell you what, as I guess you could say I'm a civilian, though I work for the government full time in a counterterrorism capacity, conducting low profile missions, but I'm out of the Marine Corps. I appreciate what our military does today, in spite of the sometimes incompetence, often immoral leadership. I appreciate our military, and it does make a fucking difference, man. In the end, it absolutely does. In this broken, crazy world, to have a volunteer force of people, in spite of the bullshit and the politics and the lack of accountability. I mean, Tim, I know you know because it's viral. The only person that's been held accountable for this is the one Lieutenant Colonel Marine. One.
Who called him out? Who called him out?
Only one. I'm sorry?
Yeah, who called him out?
Yeah.
He was the only one. He called him out. And he's the one who's Yeah,
there's one person in this whole debacle. I mean, it's wrong on all levels, and we have to do better. And we can't get distracted we cannot get distracted from doing the right thing and what's best, in spite of the wrong and the abuse by those in power.
Right. And like, if you're involved in what's going on over there, you probably know better than a lot of the viewers right now that what's going on over there is as much a humanitarian effort as it is a war, and that's the part that is really the noble part. Is we're there to help these people. We're there to protect the women, to protect the children, to ensure that they have the means to educate themselves, to feed themselves, to shelter themselves. And I can't tell you how many people have they talk to me and they're like, oh, you were a Marine, like we should just level that whole place. And it's like, you don't fucking understand what is going on over there. It's not about leveling the entire place. It's about protecting humanity and preserving what is good and protecting them from the evil forces. But you got, like, my brother, for example, was born in 1999. The towers fell in 2001. He was 2 years old. and he goes over there and he hates these motherfuckers because all he knows is what he's seen on TV. And then you
Yeah.
get over there and you realize you're facing someone your same age who's lived in an occupied country for 20 plus years. And do they really hate you, or do they just know you as the enemy? You know, and it really is sad because I think there's so many people over there that, given the opportunity, would want to do great things, but they're just being used as pawns in the game of chess. You know, they're being taught from a young age that we are the enemy, and it's just,
Yeah. You know what?
All the work that was put into it, protecting the women, protecting the children, giving them rights, giving them education, they're just to be slain now because we pulled out. And I'm not saying the right thing was to stay there, but you know, it's like I said, it was as much a humanitarian effort as it was a war.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When you see mothers handing their children, you know, I thought about this. I got really emotional as a father. You know, Maury and I both, we have a football team, both offense, defense together. You know, it's 6 kids, right, Maury? You have 6 as well. Yeah. So each of us, right, 12 kids between each other. And it was late last night. I started thinking about it. It just hit me and I got real emotional. You know, you see the video, but if you stop and think as a parent, these people, these men and women are handing their children over a barbed wire wall, not knowing if they will ever see their children again, for the simple opportunity, hoping to God that as long as they can get out, that's all they cared about. I can't even fathom what it would be like to have to be in that situation as a parent, where you're willing to like, no parent who loves their children wants to leave their child, but no parent would not die for their children. No parent. And when as I really thought about that emotion, it just dug in deep, real deep. And I started to realize there's so much more than just what we're seeing. I wanted to take a moment because our team did something and I thought it was beautiful. And Erica, are we queued up?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't we go ahead and put this, because you know what? We talk about say their names. This country needs to know the names of the fallen. You want to talk about say their names. Here are 13 individuals that should have never, ever been in this type of situation for this reason. You guys, why don't you go ahead and cue it up? If that doesn't hit home, then you need to check yourself. A lot of my friends and brothers growing up have served in the Marine Corps. Coming from California, that's obviously a big one. My son served in the U.S. Army. And my adopted son, who I'm considered his second papa, who watches this show from Afghanistan, should be headed home by this point. Was out there when this all happened, and I'm glad he was not on that list. But make no mistake, I was scared to see if his name was going to show up. That's every father's worst nightmare, every mother's worst nightmare. We wanted to take a moment because this is important for us to have shared this. Go ahead, Tim. I'm sorry.
I was gonna. So I was at my parents' house when my mother got home from work Thursday, and we didn't. My dad and I didn't know if she knew what was going on over there. He didn't want to reach out to her because he was terrified. He didn't want to see her while she was at work. They got a long drive home on the interstate, and he called me, and I kind of consoled him and said, his job is on the flight line. He'll be on the flight line. He shouldn't be at a gate. I don't know. I try to console him. Well, my mother gets home. She comes in the door, and her eyes are puffy. You can tell she's been crying on the way home. But she said, "Oh, hi, Tim." And I was like, "Hey, how are you doing?" She said, "No, I'm just fine." And she was turned away. I looked at my dad, and I was like, "No," and he shrugged. I just mouthed it. And so she, sets her stuff down. She turns around, and we're like, "Hey, have you seen the news today?" And she said, "No. What do you mean?" And we said there was an explosion. There was a suicide bomber, at least one, possibly two. At the time there still wasn't all the information, and at the time it was at least 10 service members dead. I think Marines. And she broke down and she said, "I was just crying because I was scared. I didn't even know any of this was going on." She was already terrified, and she didn't even hear the news. And then, as soon as she heard the news, it was on hold. And luckily, it wasn't even 20 minutes after she got home. We got the text from my brother, but this was 7 hours after Dad and I were aware of what was going on. But just be it having your loved ones there and your children there and knowing what's going on, even if you don't know that something like what happened Thursday happened, you're, as a parent, and you're already terrified.
No, absolutely. No, I want to hold on. Give me a second, guys. There we go. We're in our new studio, so we're having fun with this. But I want to thank you guys first off for being here. For those of you who have not seen this program, this is the ATF show. I'm your host, Rigo Murillo. I'm joined by two very, very great friends of mine and guests to the show. Tim is actually a frequent flyer on the ATF show. Maury and I have had some opportunities to have some interviews and stuff. If you haven't seen it, check out our YouTube channel, the 11 Industries YouTube channel. We have a great interview, a long form interview with Maury where he breaks it down. I'm sorry, guys. I know my video's freezing. We'll get that fixed here in a second. But what I want to do is I want us to have an opportunity now to take a few minutes, have a little bit of fun, because we are not going to allow these things to destroy us. We have to acknowledge them, and we need to do what's right and what needs to be done and speak up. Like we talked about in the beginning, Maury, it's not time for us to say, I don't talk politics. This isn't politics. These are lives. These are American lives. And we have a particular group of people within the administration today. I don't care who it was. I don't care which president had been in place. This is unacceptable. And people need to be held accountable for this type of action, because it cost American lives. War costs lives. This was unnecessary, plain and simple. But if you have never been here before, do us a favor, hashtag ATF. Let us know you're watching live. Please join our community by texting hashtag ATF to 316-799-8052. Also, if you have not had the opportunity to follow both my friends, Timothy and Maury, we will drop their Instagram links within the chats, within the comment section, or the breakdown of this after. We'll make sure it's in there so you can see it in the description. Both of these guys have great Instagram channels. You need to be checking out, especially if you like things related to the wonderful Second Amendment. Anyway, so I want to be able to move on. We've got some stuff going. If you've watched the show before, then you know that we always have something set up in regards to a game. And so what I want to do is invite you guys to be able to join that. Give me a second here. I'm going to try to log off my video and come back on. But Donnie, why don't you give us a great transition so we can step into something that we get the liberty of enjoying because we have the freedoms to be Americans. There it is. Transition time, baby. All right, Donnie, why don't you go ahead and jump on the mic and let us know what we got coming up.
All right. So today we have, let me share my screen here. And there it is.
All right, what do we got? Where's our tunes, Erica?
It hasn't even started.
There we go.
ATF Jeopardy. All right. What do we got? Where's our tunes, Erica? Uh-oh. So if you guys don't know, two of my amazing children basically direct and produce this show. So I'm very proud of them, and I'm proud of what they do. So
Okay. Well, welcome to ATF Jeopardy. There we go. I did not even mean to click that, but that works. So
we're gonna give Maury the. There it is.
yeah, this is a remix.
There we go. Oh shoot! All right, Maury. So you're gonna get to go first, and if you get it wrong, then Tim's up next. So Tim, since you are driving, Donnie, why don't you explain basically what we're all looking at?
Okay, so
I can see the screen.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, great, awesome.
all right. So, Maury, your pick.
I will take. I'll take.
There's only three, brother. It's not that hard.
You have crayons. I am a Marine. You know. I'll take firearms for 500.
Oh,
500.
going for
So-
the big one.
In Kentucky, how long does a weapon have to be, long as in length, before it is considered illegal to possess?
I just got back from Kentucky a few days ago.
Uh-oh.
I actually don't know these answers.
I'm going to say, good Jesus, that's.
Hey, if you guys are watching live, right, you guys can drop in anytime you want, man. You can drop comments. You help a brother out.
I'm gonna say it's Charlie.
See, 6 feet.
Dad, what's your guess?
Oh, for my guess here, I'm gonna say if it's bigger than a concealed carry, and we're talking Kentucky, I'm gonna go with 1 foot. I know it should be 6 if it's Kentucky.
All right. And
We're
the
gonna go
answer
1 foot.
is It should. There it is. 6 feet.
Oh
So
man!
essentially, if you could somehow conceal anything under that size, that's legal.
Hey, what do you think, Tim? 6 foot.
I've got some guns that are 6 feet long with bayonets extended, maybe.
That's
they're
just
from-
cool.
They're from 80 years ago.
Well, it's Kentucky. It's probably an 80-year-old law.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, you're next, Tim.
Let's do. Oh man, these are gonna be like.
Dude, Maury's got
real-
500. Maury's got 500. I'm just letting you know right now. Maury's got 500 bucks.
Let's do alcohol for 500.
All right, alcohol for 500. In Scotland, you can be fined 2 beers for wearing underwear beneath your kilt. True or false?
I'm gonna say true. You got people.
We have one true.
I'm going true as well.
I'll be sad if it's not true.
Maury?
I'm going to say true. Emphatic yes.
And the answer is true. It is a law in Scotland.
Oh my God. That is awesome.
It is also illegal to ride a cow drunk in Scotland. So
Okay. All right. So Maury went 500. Tim went 500. And they left me with alcohol for 500. Is that right?
Tobacco.
Tobacco for 500. All right. Let's go. Tobacco for 500.
Oh, my bad. Tobacco for 500.
She's like, I need to know what sounds are on this board.
Yeah.
I need my cheat card.
An ashtray is considered a weapon in which of these places? A.
Rhode Island. I'm gonna tell you right now, Rhode Island.
B. France.
Everything's an ashtray on the East Coast.
C. Rhode Island.
I mean, everything's a weapon. Oh man. I'm gonna go B, France.
All right, Maury.
I'm going to say. France as well.
All right, 2 on France. Tim.
I also think France. It's in my
All
best
right.
interest to do something else. I'm gonna say
And
Germany.
the correct answer is France.
All right.
Good job.
Okay, so
All right.
we are now at a dead heat. 500 for each of us, gentlemen. So Maury,
The board is
We're
yours.
gonna go firearms for 100.
Firearms for 100. How many individual components are in a Glock? If you're within a 10%, if you're within 10, it's considered a win.
Individual components. So,
you're more than welcome to guess him once Maury gives us his number.
Yeah. Kimber, quit it.
here.
Well, Dad, you've got to give yours too.
Mm-hmm. Start counting.
We're gonna say, oh boy, ooh, that's
just count live.
individual.
Is it cheating for him to disassemble?
Is it? It's not cheating for me to disassemble something, right? And count them up.
It's a six. It's a 6.
Yeah,
That
but
doesn't count.
they're damn close. We have a Glock as well, and I
How about this? You get to disassemble half of it and just count what you can see.
I'm gonna say 15. I'm gonna guess 15. It's more than that. I know it is, but I'm gonna.
He said within 10. Were you trying to be nice for me because you didn't think we were going to have guests?
No, well, it was 100 point. It was an easier question.
But within 10?
Yeah.
Whatever. All right. So 15, I'm going to say 25. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't think it's that many, but
Tim.
18.
18.
Ready?
And the answer is 34.
oh shoot.
So the only person who actually got that right was Dad.
Well, Price is Right rules.
Well, no.
No, you actually
You were
did
within
get it
10
right.
by 1.
Oh shit, that's right. All
Yeah.
right.
So 34 pieces on a Glock.
Okay, now I'm gonna. Well, what Glock?
This was on Glock's site. You didn't specify.
So here's the deal: you can clean a tactical gun tactically, or you can perform surgery on it. So most people are not having 34 parts. They don't even.
Because
know
they're not pulling the springs like
Yeah.
off individually, and
Yeah.
But that's how many total components there are. So
All right. So Tim, you will have tobacco or alcohol for 100.
All right, let's do alcohol for 100.
all right, alcohol for 100. The question is, what was Doc Holliday's whiskey of choice? A. Log and Copper whiskey. B. Elijah Craig Small Batch. Or C. Old Overholt Straight Rye.
Let's go A.
We have one for A.
I was gonna go with Elijah Craig small batch, but I don't think they were around there, and they were out of Kentucky. Elijah Craig is a. Do you guys know this? I should know this, but yeah, your Elijah Craig is your Buffalo Ridge. So I don't think it went back that far. So I'd probably go with C.
Actually, fun fact, Elijah Craig is, we were back in the 1700s.
Okay, so it does go back that far.
They do go back.
Okay. Like I said,
Are you helping?
still a Buffalo Ridge, but go ahead, Maury. I already picked, so right or wrong.
I'm going to say Charlie.
Okay.
Okay, so we have 2 for C and 1 for A.
My heart said B. I went with C.
The answer is C.
Oh,
Straight Rye.
nice. Okay.
And that concludes.
Whoa. I still got one.
Oh, yeah, we didn't hit tobacco.
Yeah, I got tobacco for 100.
Next points. So, Dad,
Amateurs.
what percent of the world's most traded cigars come from Cuba?
Okay, what percentage of the world's most traded cigars
Oh, wait, that wasn't supposed to say Cuba. That was supposed to be,
are Cuban?
no, like, in percentage of, like, cigars traded, it comes from the Dominican Republic. I meant to type that out.
To replace Cuba with Dominican
Yeah.
Republic? Okay.
So
Small
okay,
typo.
okay. So
same
what?
thing, just Dominican Republic.
Okay, so is Cuba have anything to do with this?
No, that was a typo.
Dominican Republic.
So it was a typo. No, a typo is like what I meant to say corpse, and I said core. That was a typo.
You
The
know,
U is silent.
you write something out, but your fingers type something different.
So
than your brain.
Dominican Republic is nowhere close to a typo when you have Cuba. Just throwing that out
I'm
there.
aware of this.
Okay. You get it, right?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm aware of this. Now, what percent of the total world's amount of cigars that are traded are from?
The entire world, so not into the U.S.
No, yeah, just between all trade in the entire world. What percent do they make of that?
Holy crap.
Within 10%, and it's a win.
40%.
Okay.
Maury,
25%.
25. Tim,
60%.
come again.
60.
60.
Ooh.
And the answer is
Little drum roll.
It's 44.
Oh,
So Dad was actually almost on without the margin.
oh shit.
So that's 100 points for Dad.
I'm so happy. I normally bomb these.
Yeah, you pretty far off. So, in conclusion, I lost track of the points.
Actually, Maury and I tied.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
you guys both
Tim
got-
lost. Tim was behind us by 100. I've been writing them down.
You know, I just want to go on the record and say, can't add meat. That's better.
Hold on, Erica. You got to do it right. You ready?
That's what I do. I drink and I know things.
I love this sign. Look how cool this is. Oh, yeah. That's what happens when you have a cool show called the ATF show.
All right. Well,
Tim, that was it. That was our game. That was our one game.
concludes-
Thank you guys. Give me a little transition, Donnie.
Oh.
There we go.
All right. That concludes.
Hey, Mari,
ATF.
thank you so much for being here. Tim, I want to give you guys the opportunity, have a little final thought. I didn't want to completely conclude our show with negative emotions, but at the very least, we need to be vigilant and keep our minds sharp, our eyes open, our hearts open to what's going on. But I want to give each of you guys an opportunity to share anything, and by all means, let people know how they can find you. Maury, why don't you give us a shot?
Yeah, so I guess if I had a closing message, it would be discernment in every aspect of our life. A diet is not just what we consume as far as food and nutrition. It also means information. And it is important to be informed, but it is important to have discernment and not being oversaturated with toxic information, right? So we have an obligation to make this fallen world, this broken world, this crazy season that we're in. We have an obligation as warriors, as patriots, as people that love our families, love our country, love our brethren. We want to honor the sacrifice of the fallen. We cannot capitulate to groupthink. And that is the message, discernment. We have to stay focused on the light. We have to, my brother David Wood says all the time, be light, be light. We have to be light. Darkness is not going away. Darkness has been on earth for thousands of years in a different form. And it seems like we are in an era of darkness. We have an obligation to be light as best we can for each other and for those that have sacrificed. We have to honor the sacrifice of the fallen. We do not do that by being depressed, full of anxiety, capitulating to fear or groupthink.
Awesome words, my friend. Thank you. Tim.
I got two things, I guess. So first, I agree with what Maury said, like about the world being in darkness, and I think that that's just something that we have to deal with. I think that it's always been that way. It's always be that way. I think that we've been so sheltered for so long, and now all we see is what's expressed on the news, and so many of us think that we have it terrible here. We haven't experienced what is truly going on in the world, and I think it's hard to end all of it, but realize what you have if you have stuff good going on around you. And second, I don't know if you heard when I said last time, I might have been muted or not, but I was going to say that can Dad meme better than this game.
The Can Dad meme. Well, you guys will have to just join us next week. I think next week is Can Dad meme. That's
all right.
Yeah, that's a set. Give me a little music, Erica. Come on, girl. Man. Let's go. There it is. Got to set the tone. Anyways, you guys, listen, thank you so much. If you like what you're seeing, do me a favor, man. Smash the like, subscribe, check out our YouTube channel. Follow our guests, please. They're awesome. And drop us a comment and let us know. If you're watching this as a replay, do a hashtag replay so we know. But by all means, man, share this with your friends, family, if you like what we're doing. And we've got a lot more coming up. We're excited. We've got some great news. As you guys know, we've been getting ready and moving into our new location. We are now officially in our new office. We're absolutely excited about what's going to be happening. And if you could see how things are starting to get set up here already, it's pretty cool. So we got a little bit of work to do as we build our studio out, but we got a lot coming. So again, I want to thank my guests. If you guys like what they had to say, drop something in too. Thank them for being here. Thank you both for your service to our country. And for all those who have fallen, our hearts are with your families. We salute you. And we just continue to pray for this country, pray for our soldiers out there, and what the next few days will be looking like. So anyways, thank you guys so much for being here. We appreciate it. Maury, Tim, again, thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rico.
All right. We'll check you guys later.
All right. Later, brothers.
All right. Take care. Take care, guys. Again, thank you very much for being here. This is the ATF show. I am Rigo Murillo, your host, and I hope to see you guys next week. Please, please, please make tomorrow better than today, and I'll check you guys next week. Talk to you soon.